I think it's time to update maps and firmware in this car. This is a Seat Leon Cupra from 2019. So let's start. First of all, we need to make sure that the hardware we have and the software we need is the correct one. So for that, we need to turn on the ignition. Now, press the menu button for a few seconds. Perfect. And then in software update versions, we can click on it. And we can see that the installed software trained version is for the hardware is in this case is the MST2 unit corresponding to Europe, and also the brand is Seat, and then this is the hardware itself, so software ZR, and then the software itself is P0515T. I believe there is a new version. So with this information right now, we need to go to the computer and download the next one. But before we start, I would like to thank Mr. Fix and also mibhelper.com. Who is Mr. Fix? Well, this is a YouTube channel which is dedicated to all these little tweaks that we are doing around our back platforms, and especially to the infotainment systems. So I think if you are into these kind of modifications, it's just really worth a look. They are short videos, very well elaborated, explanatory, and straight to the point. So in my case, I'm going to take a little bit of his knowledge, and I'm going to show you what you can also do with your unit. So if you go to Google, let's type MIB helper, click on it, and then this is the first link, mibhelper.com. And what you can see here, by the way, this tool is for free, is, I don't know if this number sounds familiar to you, but it's exactly the same number we were looking for in our previous step in our infotainment unit. So I'm going to paste mine here. Let's click go. Let's see what happens. So we can get a lot of data about it. So starting from it, we have firmware details, and also if you're not sure about what kind of hardware do I have and things like that, it's able to actually give a little bit more detail about the type of hardware you have. We'll use it later. Also, it's showing that we indeed have a firmware update. Our current firmware is a 5.15, and the next firmware update available already is 5.16. So, and this download link will bring us to MIB Solution 1. And then what we can also do is go through the GPS navigation maps updates, which it's super nicely structured, and there's no room for really mistakes in this case, because these options are based on our particular unit. Although I will follow the usual process of updating the maps, so yeah, it's going to be a little bit more messier in terms of finding the right update, but it's going to be just fine. And then two things that I was very interested in, which is the radio station database update. So we can update the skins corresponding to each of the radio stations, and also the personal point of interest and speed cams around your area. So let's leave it here for now. Thank you very much, Mr. Fix, and also mibhelper.com, channels in the description. And let's continue. Now, computer time. Hardware that you need is an SD card with probably more than 16 gigabytes and not relatively old. I would prefer to have a rather modern one, just for the sake of speed. So I'm going to insert my SD card in my computer. It should be seen somewhere there. Allow to connect. Okay, this is my card. I think this is from the GoPro. There is nothing here. All right, let me just go. We need to go to utilities. In this case, this is Macintosh. In Windows is going to be different. This utility, untitled, and I want to erase that. We want to do it in MS-DOS FAT, and yeah, name is going to be untitled. I don't really mind, so we erase it. It's FAT32. It's done. Perfect. As you can see here, space is a bit more than 16 gigabytes. Now, internet time. Go to the description of the video and go to the following link, And I'm gonna just show up here. This is the web page. It's MIB Solution 1. It's not my web page. It's some good guy out there. Now that we are in the main web page, in my case, for my particular unit, you can see there's a lot of folders. I go to MQB Solution, and then MST2 is a Technisat. I click in it. It's a bit slow. Then I go to Firmware, and then I have SEAT ZR. Double click in it, and as you can see, my version is 515T, and there's a new one, 516T. Well, it was uploaded, 2021, but it will serve as a very good example for what we want to do today. So we go here, I believe, right click, and we can download. We just click on download, allow, and it's gonna take some time to download. Well, I will pause the video here. It's around 4 gigabytes. Once the download finished, as you can see on the screen, right click on top of the compressed file, and we need to decompress, or just double click in this case. Wait a little bit of time, and double click. This is all the content we need to copy in the root directory of your SD card. So just you need to select all of this, and Command C, Command V, Control C, Control V in the root directory of your card. This is going to take some time. There's a lot of files, so I will pause download here. All right, as you can see, just finished. Let's safely remove our drive and go back to the car. We are back to the Dojo. So my first recommendation, just plug in your battery to external source of energy, especially if you haven't switched on the car in some time. In my case, it just came back from ride. I think it's gonna be okay. I checked the voltage and the percentage is above 80%, should be just fine. So first thing we need to do is to switch on the ignition. Go. And in the meanwhile, we need to insert this SD card into the slot number 1, but I need to remove any SD card that is on the SD card reader. So let me do it. On the SD1, I have my maps, as you can see. Let me press the other one. Yes, reading SD card, you can see there, software and the SD card. Number 1, there's software available, but I'm gonna just have access to that in a second. We repeat the same process as before. Menu button for a few seconds. Now we go to software, update versions, and then we go here on the bottom right, update. And you can see here that from all the sources you can install the firmware update. I chose to be the SD card. It could be a USB device and CD. I haven't tried those, but I think this is the quickest one. SD cards, reading information, and you can see it says that the version P0516T is available. Again, make sure that what's before, so hardware, and then for region and for the brand, they are actually correct. So click on it. It's reading the meta information. And well, from all the things that we can check on the right hand side of the screen, N means no, NA means not applicable, yes means yes, there are some things to update, and some means something. So CPU, then we have main. If you go scrolling down, it's a very minor update. There's not much that is going to be updated. It's the main and the CPU basically. So I'm just going to go hit start. So please note, updating the software may take longer than 60 minutes to complete. Please do not interrupt the power supply and do not start the engine. I switch off all the lights. All the lights you can see here, they are external. I think I'm safe to go. Let's click on next, and we are starting. And they will be switched off. Second screen. Now it's restarting. There you go. updating. We have a remaining 98 files to update. Okay, so it looks like we're back. Just gonna go back here. We can cancel this part. Need to restart the system now. Yes, it looks like we are back to normal. So let's go back here. Let's confirm that the version we have installed is actually the one we meant to install. Press again menu button. A few seconds. Go back. Software update versions. And yay, you can see it's the P05160. And it was successfully installed. We need to update maps. So we need to reinsert the card in SD number 1. It could be number 2, I guess. But first, don't forget to remove your firmware SD card. And now we go to navigation, go to settings, and we need to check what kind of version we have here, or what kind of unit, so we can download the next version for the maps. So we go for version information, and here it says it starts by 6P0. That should give us already an idea of what kind of unit hardware we have. So the important information, in my case, I need to know this number here. You can take note of it, and especially because it starts from 6P0. You will see now why. And also looking at the outside of the unit, I know that I don't have buttons on both sides, only on one side. So 6P0 and buttons on one side. Let's go and download our new version for the maps. So now it's time to update the maps on your SD card. So grab it from the car, and you need to check two things before performing this update. First of all, that the lock on your car is off. The little switch you have on your right hand side of your SD card, or left hand side, depends on how you look at it, and also the version of your map. What happened with this? The problem is that the car has a certain size and you're not able to place the desired maps in it. So let me go to SEAT webpage in order to download the maps. So SEAT download maps, something like this. Oh, made a typo there, no problem. So from the car we could see what we have. It's obviously a SEAT Leon from 2019, which could fall in between these two sections here, but we checked from the version. It starts from a 6P0, so SEAT navigation. Yes, if your navi system has a 6P0 in the setup version information display, the first 3 digits should be 6P0 in order to download the following files. I think we are in the right one. So we have Europe 1, 2, 3, 4, many of them. In this case, I would like to go for something that includes the Netherlands, Germany, France. So the current one that I have is Europe 1. So this should be the version I'm gonna download. But I think I would like to try with version 4. It's a little bit heavier, but it has Belgium, Germany, France, Italy, Croatia, and also the Netherlands. Yeah, let's try with this one. Just download it. I'll stop the recording here. Now once we have downloaded the files and I have just unzipped them, they're here. And what we need to do is to plug in our card. Remember, the lock should be disabled. So wait for a little bit. What we're going to do now is to go to the folder and just copy this folder to a safe location, let's say, in your computer. Don't delete it, just copy it. I'm gonna copy it in desktop and fast forward once. So now that we're in desktop, we have maps. Okay, now this one, let's rename it. Let's say maps old Good. So what we do now is we go to the unzip folder and you see another folder called maps. What we need to do first is to remove this one. So we just select it and trash it. And we need to empty the recycle bin if you're in Macintosh because it's still in the card. Then what we do, we need to go back to desktop, open the new folder where the new maps are contained, and literally drag it and drop it under no name. Like this. It's around 10 gigabytes on my card is, if I take a look, get information, is around 16 gigabytes, so it should be just fine. So I'll pause the video because it looks like it's gonna take some time and resume once we have finished here for the last step. Right, so now if I put this folder here, let me open this one also. I'm gonna put it next to it so we can see the structure. Put it like this. Nice. And we have in our SD card new maps. If I click here, I have everything, and then if I double click here and get the information, you can see that there's still 5 gigabytes available. So it looks like it was successful. And what do we have to do now? Well, when I put this as structure as a list, so we can see the structure, we need to replace a file. So we go back to our maps old. I'm going to do the same here as list. This is my maps old folder. I'm going to click on it. You can see it here. This is my SD card folder. So you need to get into the EEC folder, EECWLD. And then this is our important file, overall.nds. So we go here also in our SD card. We have it exactly in the same location. So what we need to do is to drag it and drop it on top of the folder, like here. I will say, do you want to replace it? Yes, replace it. That's it. We are finished. Let's go to the car and let's see if the maps work. If you don't do this, most probably it will not really work. And that's something that is not really mentioned in the webpage from Seat Maps. I'm back in the car again. We need to insert this card, but remember to bring the lock back to its original position. So now it's locked. Let's put it in slot number 1. And we need to switch on the ignition. It'll take some time to initialize. Perfect. Let's go back. Let's go to navigation. And now here, I'm going to click here because I want to see the maps. Yeah, everything should be okay. But let's take a look at version settings. If I go down, version information. It looks like we have the new version. Goes from, you can tell because of the ESC DL1 2324. And also because we no longer have the 6P0 starting on the serial, now we have a V0. That's a pretty strange, and thanks for all the viewers mentioning this update. I have no idea why this is happening, but what I know is that the maps are already updated. So we are finished. We have updated maps. We have updated firmware. But do we have any faults on this unit? Should we check first? Let's see what I get from OVD11. So here I am in my OVD11. I just run the scan tool. And let's go to control units. We can see in the multimedia module 5F, we have some faults. If we click on it, we have 2 types of faults. Starting from the green one, this is navigation related. It's a fault called B126CF2. Why is this happening? Well, I think this issue has been here already for a very long time, and especially after updating the maps for the first time. It's not really an issue, screen can be deleted. I think it's related to the synchronization of the GPS coordinates the moment you switch on the car and also the maps. I also have the issue that sometimes the clock in my car is just 1 hour in advance or 1 hour delayed, and all of a sudden everything gets correct. I think it may be related. Anyway, this one we can clear. We don't need to bother about it. Maybe you have the same issue. Maybe you solve this somehow. I would appreciate your help here. Then let's go to the red one. This is status is static, which means it's going to be there forever. The code is B201A00. What can we do with this, and why is this happening? I learned that this is happening because of there's no confirmation of the update of the firmware, like official confirmation. Bear in mind, we're using tools at home. It's not official at the dealer. What can we do with this? Okay, let's go back. We need to go to module 5F, and then we need to go for the adaptation channel here, and then confirmation of installation change. You can see that is 523D. Yeah, bear that in mind. Then we go back to our MIB helper tool. If you go to section number 2, at the end you see fix B201A issue. So let's click in this link. It will take us to a different web page. Then we need to insert it here. The new key is 9BEF, all lowercase. So what we can do is go here. We say 9BEF. Done. Now we write. Alright, it looks like I am completely stuck in this screen, and I was checking if my internet connection is just okay, and it's just fine. So I think I have given up. I'm gonna run another scan to see what happened and see farther from there. It looks like it has been fixed. Let me clear faults, success, and then I'm gonna go back to adaptations just to show you confirmation, and it's still 523D instead of 9BEF. Looks like it worked. I'm gonna run another scan. Yeah, 0 faults found. So solved. I'm back here at the mibhelper.com because I would like to explore 2 more things that maybe they are helpful for you, maybe not. But if I scroll down, of course, bear in mind I'm using the software train for my unit in particular, although it's already 516 instead of 515. But if I scroll down, we did a GPS navigation maps update following the usual way, although I haven't tried this one. But then we have radio station database and personal point of interest and speed cams updates. This is something I would like to try. So I must say I already went through all of this. I wanted to get the Europe with speed limits, and following this link it didn't really work for me. So what I did is where I went to MIB Speedcam. It's a Telegram webpage. If I go here, this is exactly the one I'm talking about, and this is about how to get the point of interest databases updated in our systems. It's a little bit cumbersome. Well, it's a lot of text to read. All right, you can see the README in English. I already had it open. It's right here, and basically, it will include a lot of point of interests, but how do we incorporate this database into the car? That's something I couldn't really figure out. Also, compatibility. Is this compatible with my car? So if I go to the top of the README file, you can see that there are supported units from Volkswagen, Skoda, Seat, and MAN. And you can see the Navi system, which is the one I have in particular. I can go here. If you remember well, from the updating the maps, Navi system 6P0. This is my confirmation basically that I have the Navi system, apart from the serial number we saw before, and so on. we can get from all these databases from all the countries except Australia and North America, which is perfect. I want to choose Europe, I have it here. But this is for Discover Pro, Columbus, Seat Navi Plus, and Man Media. I don't have Navi Plus, I have Navi. So I still need to scroll down, and here, if you keep reading, there you go, we have this line, Seat Navi. And then I want to go to Europe, is here, and they have only the point of interest, I don't know with A, but I also have with the speed cameras and signs. This is a little bit heavier, this file, but let's download it. Okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to open a folder here in desktop, and I'm going to go to, this is the file, drag it and drop it, double click, and here you have in your language the database containing all of these point of interests and speed cams. In this case, I'm using my car English. So these two files, they need to be copied in the root folder of your SD card. You can use an SD card that goes in slot number 2, or you can also use the SD card that goes or is used for the maps, which is my case. So I'm going to take these two, I'm going to drag it and drop it in known end. This is the maps SD card. You can see the maps are here. And I'm going to copy these two items. It might take more time than expected, but it's worth it. And the good thing is that you keep these two files here, so you can see which one was the latest version you were using for next time. So that's one. I'm going to pause the video here. Alrighty, so this is how my maps SD card looks like right now. I have the maps as usually, and also this database. It needs to stay in this way, otherwise the car will not recognize it. So let's go back to the car. There we are. There is no navigation database available because I have the SD card right here. So let's lock it and also insert it into slot number 1. It's processing the data. Okay, let me direct all the information to the screen. And now we go to settings, and we need to go to manage memory and then update my points of interest. Clicking it, you can install your new point of interest database via software update. Please insert data medium. Well, we just go here, we're clicking update, and then I was searching for software updates, and they says, hey, there is a new version from the 18th March this year. Yeah, I want to update it. It's gonna take some time. Perfect. So now we are supposed to have a lot of point of interests. Version information. Go back. Map. Oh, we have a lot of things. We can show, they are not enabled. So mobile speed camera, for example, speed bump. And then let's see, I like shell, let's use shell. Just to give something. Speed camera at any of these speeds would be nice. Oh, there you go. Just to give an idea. Back. Yes, you can see how there are two exactly. I live in Boxtel, so if I zoom in, yeah. So the moment you enter from best, you have a radar of 50. That's true. And at the exit, you also have a radar at 50. And there's also speed cam in the highway. That's really good. So I hope you like this part here. And let's continue with the last but not least update. Alrighty, so last point is number 4, radio database update. So let's download the package. Allow. And we need to insert an SD card. Just go here, titled, this is my micro SD card or SD card with an adapter. And then let's go to downloads. We are going to go to desktop first. This is from the previous one. I'm going to eliminate it, so I need to take this one, double click in it, and then we just copy this into Untitled. It's the same process. So I want to pause the video here and I'll see you in the car. We're back. SD card inserted. We press menu button. Like if it was a firmware update, software update versions, you go to update, and we should get something from the SD card. And then the release information is a station logo, database Europe version 1.10.48. We just click on it. And we start. Yeah, it might take up to 60 minutes, I doubt it. Perfect. Let's go back. Cancel this part. We're gonna restart the system. It looks like we are back. So first, let's verify that everything was installed correctly. Let's go to settings and let's go to system information here. And so what we did today was updated the software from 5.15 to 5.16. Navigation database, we know it's a new one because of the ECE is from 23.24, and also the serial change from P0 to V0. And then the last one is the POs. I don't know if it's here. Yeah, you can see here how the personal point of interest version is from March 2024, and then the radio database version is 1.10.48. So we can call this a success. And then we're gonna go back to radio. Here, let's see. Yes, it's just about the skin. So I don't know. I know these two they already had these skins, but let's customize these channels. Let's do number 3. Oh, sorry, station list. Let's choose now. I don't know. Sky Radio. We go back. Volume is off, so what I can do is press here, and there you go, Sky Radio appeared. Then let's go for another one. Let's put all of them full. Let's go up. I have no idea. Play NOS, I don't know, pop. Let's go back and let's add it to our dashboard. Again, we keep it clicked. And there you go, play NOS. And to summarize, today we performed the firmware update, the navigation and map update, also the point of interest, and finally the radio database to newer versions. And a big question that I also had during the video is, hey, what if I want to have the maps, but not just a certain version, but all the maps together? Is that possible using an SD card that doesn't belong to this car? Yes. There are many ways. You can check Mr. Fix YouTube channel and also MIB Helper. And also, if you really want me to go through a detailed process of how to do it in this particular unit, then just drop a comment in the description and see you in the next one.